Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life. And Mrs. Claus and I are back again for you.
Yes, story time with Santa and Mrs. Claus. And we've got a fun episode today,
I think
we?
so. I think so.
Yeah,
We have a pretty terrific one. So.
We do.
And actually one of the very first things I want to do is, I got to tell you, I've been talking to Keeney Eagle Eye, and I am so proud of you kids.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting, we know how tough this has all been on you. You've been stuck in your homes. You aren't seeing your friends. Your routine has been completely turned upside down, and you've had to really do a lot of things that you're not used to doing. And I understand you've been doing it very well and that you've just kind of rolled with everything. I'm so proud of you guys. You have no idea how pleased we are at the North Pole. And I'll tell you, you're gaining some bonus points this year. I think you guys are going to get some terrific things at Christmas.
You know, when you're good, Keeney comes and we have a bell tower and he rings the bells. And the bells have just been ringing a lot up at the North Pole, haven't they?
And especially you kids that are doing extra stuff for others.
Yeah.
Boy, I am so proud of you guys. Keep it up. But really, just, enjoy. We are getting through this, and things are going to be hopefully changing again soon. And you'll be able to get out and possibly see your friends soon again and everything. But really, just wanted to tell you how proud everybody is at the North Pole of what you're doing and how you're doing it. So, and speaking of the North Pole, you might notice what's in back of us now. So, and what this is this is our North Pole. This was actually taken from when we were coming in on the sleigh. We took some shots of us, coming into the land at the North Pole. And because everybody says, what does it look like? What's it look like? Well, if you look at the screen, this is what it looks like. You can see now what's closest to us is the visiting center in the lower, right there where the pointer Mrs. Claus is moving. It's in the lower left-hand corner. There you go. So, in fact, you could see Mrs. Claus. There's your greenhouse.
There's my greenhouse right here in the corner.
Where she grows trees and poinsettias and that kind of thing. And then there's a little grotto in the back. It's hard to see, but that's where the train comes in. We have a train that goes up and down on the North Pole and brings guests to the North Pole. I bet you didn't know that.
No.
But that's our visiting center, and that's where I meet those guests when they come up there. I have a special little visiting house that they go to.
We do.
Where I sit and talk to them. And then I also have another house down in the visiting center where, that's where I go and have my lunch or take a break or take a nap.
That's where
Santa
Mrs. Claus is cooking.
And that's where Mrs. Claus is baking cookies for the guests and doing things
so
like
we have some fun things there, and then
you can get into, if you look at the upper center,
all of that
area is
really,
the manufacturing center. And that's where we do a lot of our toys, a lot of our, you name it. We do tinsel up there, we do lights up there, we do ornaments, so all of those products that we talk about are actually all made up in the manufacturing center there.
And that little building here, let me push this down, that's actually our post office.
Yes.
So when
that's
you
where all
send
your letters go
to Santa, that's actually where they go. So yeah.
And our home is all the way to the opposite end over there. There you go.
Way over
There's
here.
our workshop and our home. And that's in what we call the Woodlands area. And that area. Now, you see where the post office is and you see where we are. So we have to move the letters back and forth with a reindeer and sleigh. So, and that's how those get back and forth. And constantly you're seeing big sleighs going by filled with letters, and especially
isn't that true? Yeah,
especially in a few more months when it's going to be nonstop. And up at the very peak there, up at the top, is our observation area.
Yeah,
that's where Keeney Eagle Eye. Yeah, right there is where Keeney Eagle Eye is watching all you guys. So that's where we kind of check in. That's where your elves come to and visit Keeney every night. Yeah. So he's up in there. Let's see.
And a lot of the elves' housing is right up here at the top here. This is where some of the elves live. Now, they also live, they have, some have homes, like Sarah Buttons. She has actually... her home is kind of her home and shop. So, and the manufacturing center, some of the houses are actually homes as well to our elves. And then, just so you don't think that we've got up here, this is the,
there it is.
It's a mountain, Elf Mountain, right here, where all you see it's actually a little ski lift.
Yeah, there's a ski slope there where they test the toys, and that's where they do like the toboggans and the sleds and the snowboarding
and they it's funny how they find a lot of time they need to test those toys.
I'm telling you, we've even seen them go down in bikes. I don't recommend it, but anyway, and if you look very closely, you'll see some lights up at the top there, and that's our launching platform. That's where we take off and land with the reindeer. In fact, you can see some reindeer up
right
there.
Up there at the time we took this.
When we were coming in, we were just in our small sleigh, and they were hooking up the other reindeer because they were going to do some reindeer tests and games. To see, who might lead the sleigh this year.
That's right.
But anyway, and we'll talk more about this later, but we got a lot of things to cover.